Hey guys, so today I have swatches of some new polishes from Rogue Lacquer. I have the Anniversary or Rogue-aversary duo, and then I also have this 4-piece collection, which is called Come Ride With Me, for neon crellies with like iridescent flakies mixed in. So these are all available right now, so I will link the website down below, and I'll get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Mad Tea Party, and this is a neon pink jelly base with these color shifting iridescent flakies. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera because the neon is like really blowing things out, but the flakies are shifting from gold to green to orange to purple, like that kind of color range. So here is one coat. This one is a bit sheer on that first coat. It really has to be if you want to be able to see those flakies. And you do get a decent amount of flakies out even on that first coat. I find that lighter things like flakies, you tend to get more on your first coat than you would with a crelly that has glitter in it, because it's just heavier and it wants to fall off the brush before you get the brush completely out of the bottle. The flakies always seem to perform a bit better. And good formula on this one as well. So this one does start to build up on that second coat, but I can still see a bit of nail line. My nails are pretty short right now, so it's a little bit harder to tell. If you look more on the corners where there's more nail line, you should be able to see it a little bit better. And this does dry a little bit dull, but honestly not as dull as I would have expected it to, but you will still want top coat. And that's going to help smooth some of those flakies out as well. They're not going to be super textured like a glitter, but there will be a little bit of texture there. So this one does build up a bit better in 3 coats. If I look really, really closely, I can still see some nail line. I do really have to look for it, but my nails are also pretty short right now, so if you have longer nails or whiter nail line, it'll probably be a little bit more apparent for you. So that is the 3 coats of Mad Tea Party. The next polish is called It's a Small World, and this is a neon orange with those same shifty iridescent flakies. So just like the last one, this one is in a jelly base, and it is a bit sheer on that first coat. You do get a good amount of those flakies out in this one as well, and a good formula on this one also. So this one, like the pink one, it does start to build up on that second coat. You can actually see quite a bit more neon orange building up between 1 and 2. Still a little bit sheer. I don't think it's as sheer as the pink was in 2 coats, but I'm going to add a 3rd coat anyway. You can kind of see it there in the corner. And it dries a little bit dull, like the last one as well, which you will want top coat to add shine and to smooth those flakies out. Now the flakies aren't going to stick to the nail and need to be scrubbed off like a glitter would, but there is still going to be a little bit of texture from them. So that 3rd coat does build this up a little bit better. Like the pink, I have a little bit of nail line showing, but I really have to look for it. But also, like the pink, that might be a little bit more noticeable if you have longer nails than mine are right now. Overall, the polish is pretty even. I got a big flaky on my brush there. Overall, the polish is pretty even. It's just a little bit sheer from that jelly base. So that is 3 coats of It's a Small World. The next polish is called Peter Pan's Flight, and this is this teal, kind of neon-y teal jelly base with those shifting iridescent flakies. And now that it's against a cooler base, you can really see those pink and orange flakies standing out. So this one is pretty sheer on that first coat. Again, good amount of flakies, and good formula on this one also. So this one does start to build up on that second coat, but it is still pretty sheer. Get a lot more green color out of 2 coats. And you will want top coat, like the other ones, to smooth those flakies out. So here is 3 coats. You can see that green builds up even more. I feel like it dried a little bit more sheer than when it applied, so now it's like extra green again. Just like the last ones, I do have a little bit of nail line still in 3 coats. Not very obvious on my short nails, but probably will be more obvious if your nails are longer. So that is 3 coats of Peter Pan's Flight. So the last polish in the Come Ride With Me set is this neon purple jelly base with those iridescent flakies, and this is called Space Mountain. And those reddy pink flakies really stand out well through this color. So this one also in a jelly base, so it is a bit sheer on that first coat. This one is very even. There's really no streaks at all. And good formula on this one as well. I hope I've been in frame for this video. My viewfinder has so much glare on it. I have to like stand up out of my chair to be able to see it. And it's stuck up against where my microphone plugs into my camera, so I can't move it anymore. So this one does start to deepen on that second coat. And then those flakies stack up to get a little bit more dense as well. Get back on there. I feel like the red The more reddy pink flakies really stand out under this base. They like really glow from underneath the purple base. So the purple base on this one does build up a bit more on that third coat. Doesn't change the color. I guess it actually, if I sit way up, it does actually look a bit more purple on the viewfinder. I feel like it's not quite as intense in person, but you do get that extra coverage. I actually can't see any of my very small nail line through this polish in 3 coats, but that's not to say that if you have longer nails, wider nail line, like I always say, that you won't still be able to see a little bit. So that is 3 coats of Space Mountain. So the first polish here is from the Rogue-aversary, and this is called Fun-fetti Frosting. So this is acrylic. It is a bit sheer on that first coat. Good amount of glitter on the first coat for acrylic. And I see there's that big yellow. I keep trying to even out the base and accidentally scooping that yellow off my nail. But there's that big yellow circle, green hexes. These orange ones are circles. And there's a few different shades of blue and pink squares and hexes in there as well. With acrylics, I try not to be, it's hard not to be, but I try not to be too concerned about the glitter on the first coat. I just want to get a good like first layer of that white base. But it's very difficult to not worry about the glitter on the first coat. I always end up like over manipulating to place glitter even though I really don't need to. And good formula on this one as well. So here is 2 coats. That white base, it does start to build up there on that second coat. I still think it needs a third though. I prefer the white base to be like super, super white. So I always end up adding a third coat anyway, but I think this one could actually really benefit from it. And I feel like once that texture of the glitter is laid down on that first coat, you never have as big of an issue getting glitter on the following coats with acrylic. But that probably also has a lot to do with the fact that I don't wear base coat for these swatches. There's not really anything for the first coat to grab onto. So you do get a much whiter base with that third coat. And I'm going to do a little bit of glitter placement because now that I'm on my final coat, I want to put the glitter where I want it. That's not super uncommon, at least for me, to do with anything that has larger glitters, like these yellow circles. Kind of just trying to space them out. Got a little cluster of glitter there. This is definitely going to dry textured. There is a lot of glitter in here, so you're going to want top coat to smooth it out, and that glitter is going to be more difficult to remove off of the nail. So that is 3 coats of Fun-fetti Frosting. And the last polish in the Rogue-aversary duo, and the last polish that I have to show today is called Vintage, and this is kind of like what is to me the classic Rogue Lacquer finish. It's a more muted base. This is almost like a taupey gray base with multi-chrome flakies and then some gold shimmer and holographic running throughout it. So this one is also sheer on that first coat because it is in a more jelly base. You can see how much, I guess it's not all flakies, but how much stuff, how much of this polished stuff is coming out on your nails. Very technical terms today. Ingredients, that works. How much of the ingredients is coming out on your nails? And good formula on this one as well. Okay, so here is 2 coats. You can see that base does build up a bit more, gets a little bit more opaque. And this is super dry because my mom called and we talked about cats and recipes for 45 minutes. This does, I mean, if you feel it, because this is like fully dry, I ran my finger across it and you can feel just the slightest bit of texture from those flakes. These are not the kind that are going to be difficult to remove. They're not going to stick to the nail, but there's just like a little bit there and it does dry a little bit dull, so you will want top coat. So again, that base is building up pretty well on that third coat. You can see it like, I don't know how to describe this. Once you get the 3 coats on there, it looks a little bit more creamy, but it doesn't hide any of the flakies. I can't see any nail line here, but again, my nails are really short right now, so there's not a lot of nail line to see. If you have very white nails, longer nail line, you might have a little bit showing through, but that's also going to depend on the thickness of your coats as well. So that is 3 coats of Vintage. I am a sucker for neon pink, so Mad Tea Party is going to be my favorite for sure. So those are some new polishes from Rogue Lacquer. Again, I will link the website down below so you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.